in and welcome back to All Fans TV. I'm John and I'm your host. How are you? I've got Rams in the screen. How are we, Rams?
Boom, John. Rams is in the building, back for another edition. What we all saying, people? How the man them? Oi, oi, ready for the game week 35, 34? Let's do this.
That's it. Obviously, thanks for joining us for another week of Fantasy Football League. If you are new around here, make sure you like and subscribe, and you're more than welcome to join our Fantasy Football League. Let me make sure I give you the right pin, 2V6FXV. Get yourself involved. It's not been a great week for myself and Rams, so in the All Fans TV Fantasy League, we are, it hasn't been a great week to say the least, but it's still early days. It's only our second week, and we're nice people, so we're just letting you get involved. Where do you want to start, Rams? Shall we go through the last week's results?
No, how about we do a quick recap for what's been going on this weekend? Like you say, the results of the weekend. Yeah, sorry, the results of the weekend. A bit of a recap on the news, and then bang straight into our football fantasy.
Let's do it. So what was last week? Last week was
game week 34.
What day
would that have been? It started with the 30th on the Friday for Southampton-Leicester.
So yeah, Southampton-Leicester, that finished 1-1. We only have one Leicester player, and that was Iniacho, isn't it?
Yep.
Iniacho. So doing very well for us. Big result that was for Southampton, I thought. Bad result for Leicester. I can still see them dropping out of the top four.
Leicester scraped themselves back into the game. I think they were 1-0 down most of the game, and Iniacho assist got on the goal. So they were lucky to get that result. And on that for us as well, we had Maddison, but Maddison's been poor the last couple of games. So hopefully, might give him one more week. But let's see how he goes.
Oh yeah,
that was the Friday night game.
Yeah, quite disappointing result for us, really. Iniacho with the points, but I thought it was a bad result for Leicester. I can see them, especially the way West Ham are going, I can see them being dragged in and dragged out, and West Ham dragged in, which is crazy. Then we went to the first, which was Crystal Palace 0, Man City 2. Not much to say there. I don't think anyone expected Palace to beat Man City, and obviously a big up to all you Man City fans. First Champions League final ever. It is big up. Bit disappointing from a Liverpool fan, but credit where credit is due. You're doing what we did last year, and you just unplayable.
And as you're giving that credit, to be fair to Palace, they were in the game for 70 minutes, 0-0 until the last 20, 30 minutes, and then City did what City do. They turned on the style, went through the gears, and bosh. So fair play to Palace, though. They were in the game for a while.
Yeah, they're a good side, aren't they, Palace, especially at home. They're always a bit difficult to beat, a bit like the next team, Brighton, winning 2-0 against Leeds. So obviously we've got Dallas, haven't we, from Leeds? So not a great week for him. But I'm not too sure Leeds are that bothered. They're in the Prem for another year. It's been a great fairy tale for them this year. And I think they're petering out a little bit as the season goes on, and I don't really blame them.
And Leeds do what Leeds do. Leeds do what Leeds do, don't they? They seem to step up for all the big games and always be there or thereabouts in the big games, and seem to not play to the same standard in the lesser games. And no disrespect to Brighton, that seems to what's happened again now. Dallas still top scorer in the goals, as a defender, but had a bad game for us, like you say, John.
Yeah, he's still having a great season, and so are Leeds, to be fair. And like you say, that just probably reminds them of a championship game. You shove them against the big boys and they're up for it. I think Bielsa's the same. Don't think he's that bothered about playing them anymore. And then obviously we got on to the other English side in the semi-finals. We were playing tonight. Chelsea, who won 2-0 in the West London derby. Again, who did we have in that, Rams?
No one, to be fair. No Chelsea or Fulham, to be fair. And probably the least talked about derby in football, maybe. I mean, who cares? I mean, the neighbours, don't get me wrong, but Fulham are so not worth talking about to a degree. And that's been like that since I can remember. So, unfortunately for Chelsea...
New money, them too, haven't they? When Fulham...
Yeah, and even when Fulham had new money, they didn't do anything with new money when old Harrod's manager was there, Al Fayed. So even then, they were only still sort of a mid-level, lower-end Premiership team. So not the best of derbies, but an easy win for Chelsea.
Exactly. And then the last game of that day was Everton versus Villa. Villa came away 2-1 winners, and obviously our man Watkins was on the score sheet. And I just think that's a great result. Bad result again for Everton. I was buzzing over that result. Everton have been getting far too carried away from themselves.
Away from home, it's a good result, like you say. Villa have been good all year. They just haven't done it without Grealish. So against a decent side of Everton, to step up against Everton and do it without Grealish, fair play to them. And Everton didn't look like it was in the game, to be fair. A little goal from Richarlison and from Calvert-Lewin gave them hope, but not really. Aston Villa were sort of coasting.
What do you think of that Calvert-Lewin getting in the England squad? He's not for me. I'm not dissing what he does. I think he's great for Everton, but not good enough for England.
Not good enough at all, to be fair. I mean, he's a great plan B. So we always have silky strikers that do what they've got to do. And we've always had an Emil Heskey. And he's an Emil Heskey. And to be fair, Emil Heskey was actually a lot better, to be fair. But, I mean, he's got a few bits in his game. He's good in the air. He's been taught by Big Dunk, so he's strong. He's a bit nasty at times. He's got a slight turn of pace for 10 yards, maybe. So he's got some attributes. He finds the goals this year. But other than this year, what has he really done? So wouldn't be in my England squad, but I can see with a bigger number of players that we can put into the squad, maybe why he might scrape as an outside striker without Vardy, because Vardy's not as retired, so maybe.
Yeah, I can only see Southgate shoving him in just so Southgate can act like the big man in front of someone, because he ain't telling Kane what to do, is he? Let's be honest. He ain't telling some of these established players what to do, so we're all human at the end of the day. I can imagine him at least having someone to act like the big dog too, and Calvert-Lewin be like, yes boss, 3 bags full, boss. And then next game, going to the 2nd of May, whoop. Arsenal remembered what it feels like to win. 2-0 away win against Newcastle. Obviously we had Holding. Did he play? Probably not.
Nope.
Look, he didn't, did he?
No, we had Holding on the bench, and he was on the bench for Arsenal. So, double. Great minds thinking alike, I guess.
It's the only thing me and fucking Arteta are ever going to agree on. Jesus. But yeah, 2-0 win for you guys, and obviously with what's coming up for you tomorrow, and obviously we'll be here for you if you're live watch along, so join us tomorrow as Arsenal are 2-1 down against Villarreal, but a 1-0 or 2-0 win will take them through. My money's still on Arsenal, and the 2-0 victory against Newcastle is a big warm-up. Then the next one, which is an absolute disgrace, I'm going to have a little rant at the moment. So Man United versus Liverpool, it says the word postponed. What it should say is kids' day out. Because what actually happened is Old Trafford, this club that apparently is the biggest club in the land, could only get a couple of thousand people to Old Trafford. Half of them had just left the youth club. Half of them had the Rover. I don't know if you have a Rover. You're in a bus ticket. You get for like £2. You go round and round. Kids jumped off that. Went to Old Trafford with a burger. Some bloody senile steward. Do you know what I mean? Have you not got? Can't you get a proper security team? Let them in, and they're doing all sorts on the pitch. Some which is fun, and some people would say not a problem. But then other times it's violent, they're damaging stuff, and at the end of the day, myself, like millions of people in this country, was sat there thinking, you fucking bunch of morons. I want to watch football for one, but second of all, what is your point? So without going into it in too details, you have spent money. Are you stupid? Seriously, I'll say it again, are you stupid? You've spent the most money out of everyone. Every year you're buying players. It's not our fault or the world's fault they turn out to be crap. Everyone's owners try taking money out. You're not unique, you're not special, you're spoiled and you're acting like a brat. Yeah, and I'm talking on behalf of all the children that sat there wanting to watch Liverpool versus Man United, for all the adults, Man United and Liverpool supporters that just wanted to watch a match. And are you that petulant and sad? Are you that sad that Liverpool won the league last year, Man City are going to win the league this year, and oh my god. And then to cut a long story short, you got Arsenal over here. They are shit at the moment. Their fans hate them, but at least they get a few people to their protest. Like, it seemed to take over a lot of London, and tubes were stopped. Yours, you had just a bunch of kids, and you couldn't keep them kids off the pitch, which meant I missed my football, which means we missed the chance to Not being funny, it's not our fault you're in the shitty Europa League. So you had a Thursday, Sunday match, boo-hoo. We didn't, we had a week rest. We were in the Big Boys League. And you get away with it. So, rant over, but I'm disgusted in all Man United fans for condoning violence. And also, are you really that stupid for, as I say, I'll say it again, you have brought players, and the Glazers don't even lose money. Someone email me in and tell me what happened because of last week's match. The only team that lost money was Liverpool, because we would have spent hotels, we would have done all that. We'd have been at the Lowry. The Lowry, yours is free. It would all be done in ticketing. What has that done for the Glazers other than got more hits to your Twitter, more hits to your Instagram? You lot are a bunch of idiots. And then you've even called out Arsenal fans saying that's how you do a protest, and then you've called out Liverpool fans saying that's what happens when, because apparently we hate our owners. Apparently, no, we don't. We just won the fucking league and the Champions League. You want to stop crying over spilt milk because it's getting embarrassing. And if you affect my Sunday again, I'm not going to be happy, because football is meant to be for all of us, Rams. Do you remember Man United fans last week saying no one can take football away from us? Well, guess what? You took football away from me last week. And let me say this clearly, you should be deducted 3 points. Wouldn't make really much difference to my life, but it ain't really going to make much difference to Man United because they're second. Should have been deducted points. That was 3 minutes, ran over.
Just quickly to put some meat to those bones there. I mean, I'm not as passionate as John is here, but in the last 10 years, the top two spenders both come from Manchester, and they both spent upwards of £1.5 billion. Now, don't get me wrong, they might have recouped money in that time, but £1.5 billion. If you go through some of the defenders Man United have bought, Lindelof, Bailey, Harry Maguire, Tellez, Shaw, I mean, Wan-Bissaka, the list goes on. That's just defenders. That's without stepping up into the midfield and looking at Pogba, Fernandes, Fred, and so on and so forth. Di Maria, who flopped, you know,
they're everywhere, aren't they?
They can't moan at the owners for what they've spent. That's not questionable. They might want to question their policy of who they buy. Well, that's a different argument. But don't sit there and go, you know, you're in the same bracket as everyone else. To be fair, the only team that can really sit there really and moan about not spending is Tottenham. Who's the only fans that have not protested? Tottenham. So, boys, you really should stay in your lane. 1.5 billion is a lot of money. So that's all I've got to say on the matter.
No, and that's well put at the end of the day. So moving on from Man United, well done for your protest. I'm sure the kids enjoyed it, but it's probably not won a hell of a lot for anyone. It just pissed me off because I wanted to watch the football. Next one was Tottenham versus Sheffield United. Tottenham are a massive 4-0 winners, back on winning ways, and Heung-min Son got one, and Gareth Bale gets a hat-trick, so that's a bit of a missed opportunity there. Not that I would have been singing for Bale to be in the team, but anyone out there who added Bale to your fantasy league last year is winning.
Was lucky. Was very lucky because he's not done nothing really all year. You've got no grounds to really put him in there, and you got lucky. But well done, especially if he was a skipper, because that's a 40-point job. So fair play.
Yeah. And then the last two games was the Midlands derby, West Brom versus Wolverhampton, which was a 1-1, which probably condemns West Brom to relegation, and was a nothing game for Wolverhampton, but they probably get the bragging rights in that derby because they've essentially helped send West Brom down. And then the other one was West Ham 2, Burnley 1, which is a massive result for West Ham, isn't it? Who scored?
Antonio got both, frustratingly. Normally you see 2 goals, you would have thought Lingard might have been in the mix, so that was a little bit frustrating. I didn't know he was back.
Or a Bowen or a Kufat.
Well, we put Bowen in the
team, really.
We put Bowen in the team on the basis that Antonio's still injured, and clearly he's got back fit quickly somehow out of nowhere and stuffed us a little bit there, because Antonio might have been a shout for the team because he's only £6 million or 6.1. He's low figures. And like I say, we only put Bowen in because of that. So annoying, but well done, West Ham.
Yeah, exactly. So that was week 34 over. Let's have a quick look at what that meant for our points for last week. So we got a whopping 37 points, Rams.
Yep.
Yeah,
like I say, at most teams you've got to live at above 50 no matter what. I don't get me wrong, 5 players out of a team, 2 through not playing, just not in the squad, and 3 through Man United stupidity. So, you know, it could have been a different score, but we were affected like everyone else. So you can't moan about the same thing everyone else has been affected by.
Yeah, the ones that I think have really killed us there. Let's have another look at it on my screen. Obviously, Bamford, he's not been performing for a while now. Fernandez obviously hit a blank but didn't play. And Bowen again, and Maddison as well. We said Maddison last week, so it's Bowen and Bamford really that are the ones causing us the most concern. So, what are you feeling?
Well, as you know,
is it time to make changes?
Yeah, as you know, my friend, we've got a carryover free transfer from last week, which means we've got 2 free transfers. So I think a minimum of 2 changes, maybe 3. We could say maybe give Maddison a bit longer. We could say, you know what, jog him on and transfer him out now. Bear in mind it's a double game week next week for some teams, so I'll be looking at a few changes, but definitely Bowen and definitely Bamford for me.
Coming in, so let's get rid of Bowen. And who are we going for in place of Bowen?
Right, let me have a look at my one because I can't see what you can see there. So give me a second, my friend, and I can see what sort of transfers we've got. If we took Bowen out.
It's not that easy for me to show you on the screen. And obviously while I do prat around and changing the team, Ram does disappear off the screen, but don't panic, he is there.
So, midfield-wise, how much money have we got to spend, John?
We have a whopping 7 mil. 7 bills.
7 mil. Can you take out Bamford as well for me?
Let's do this.
Right, so we got
13.4.
Okay, so just have a look. 13.4. Can we see how much Antonio is?
You want another West Ham player? Yeah, these West Ham fans.
No, I want a low-end striker that's got a chance of scoring goals. I think he's 6 mil. So we need to look at someone in the range of Bamford, 6 mil. Otherwise, we can't put a midfielder in. So
let's have a look. So you're saying
I think Mount's a midfielder.
Antonio is only 6.4 to be fair.
Let's put Mount in first and see what we're left with.
But Mount in first, yeah?
That's what we definitely agree on, yeah? They've got 2 games. He's playing well. We agree on Mount being in?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so what are we left with now once you put him in?
Yeah, I've got to search him out.
He'll be quite high up on the list because he's a high scorer, so I would have thought.
If I change the forwards, there he is, 6.4. Let's shove him in. So that leaves us with 7 again, which means we can afford Antonio.
No, you put Antonio in.
No,
you put Antonio in.
I've put who did I just put in?
Up front, it's got 3, so it looks like you put Antonio back in up front. You've got, I don't know, who's up front? Who are your 3 strikers?
That's Bamford back in.
There you go. So go back on to click off that.
Oh, I actually
go back
typed
into
in Bamford. Who was I typing in?
We're changing. We want Mount. So yeah, we want Mount in midfield.
I actually re-put in the same bloody one, and he's a midfielder. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. So Mount's in, leaves us 6.1.
So we haven't got enough for him. So we've got choices. We could put Bamford back in. Because he's 6.1, so we could leave it as it was and do 1 change, and maybe look at taking Maddison out. You've got Jota at 6.9 that could go in there. You've got Ward-Prowse high on the points at 142 points at 5.8. But we really want a double game weeker.
Let's put Jota in because he is going to play. I think. I got a feeling
who have they got?
Start to ease out Mane or Salah.
Oh, you've got 2. You've got 2 games, haven't you?
Yeah, Liverpool got 2. Yeah.
So why don't you put Jota in for Maddison? And return Bamford to his.
Jota in for Maddison. Jota. What an underrated player this guy is. When we first got him, I wasn't 100% sure he was any good, but he's very good. So that leaves us 6.3 for a striker.
Put Bamford back in because if we put him back in, there's only 2 changes and we don't cost us anything.
Can you get no one really? How much is he?
6.4 you said, so won't that be enough?
Okay, that's annoying.
Forwards wise, what have we got in that realm? Adams from Southampton at 5.7, not enough for me. I'd rather go Bamford. Benteke, Welbeck's, they're not enough for me. Charlie, I'd rather keep Bamford on the bench and play our midfield.
What about Saka for Arsenal?
Midfielder 5.1.
Not been funny. He's going to play well, isn't he? He's probably going to.
Yeah, but Arsenal have only got 1 game, So they've only got one
Phil
game.
Foden
So
at 6.
for who?
Phil Foden at 6.
Yeah, but for who? Because we're looking for a striker now. Remember, we don't. Are you happy with your midfield? You put Jota in,
Do you
and
think
you put Mount in.
in your midfield though we've got all strikers pretty much? Jota,
Yeah,
Salah,
but
Lingard.
no. What I'm saying is on the game, we know I'm a strikers, but on the game, the midfielders. Obviously, our position that we're looking to fill now is a striker on the game. Saka comes in on midfielder in the game. No, you can't. You've got to put what A class as a striker on there. So if you click onto the option, it's only full on strikers.
Oh,
we can't play Saka there.
Let's have a look.
So it'd have to be.
How much we got? 6 point what? 6.3.
6.3. We've got Iheanacho and Watkins already, who are low value, and the only other one really is Antonio.
Go on, Joe Linton, first goal in a while. Yeah, no, I think he's the one, mate. Looking at those.
Are you putting in Joe Linton over Bamford?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think we. I was bigging up Joe Linton for his goal the other day. No, I think you're right. Okay. Bamford's the one out of those, mate. Yeah,
just stick with it. If you click on the player, it'll restore him. If you click on the one you took out, it'll restore him. Press restore.
There you go. Let's put you back in.
So, no, we can't do that. No, we've got to change Bamford because that leaves us 0.1 million. We haven't got enough, so we have to change Bamford. To keep the players we want in there now, we have to change Bamford. So now let's pick a striker.
That's cheap.
What about Welbeck? He scored at the weekend, 5.5 million. Scored on a pivot.
Do it.
We need someone cheap. They're going to go on the bench. They're not looking to play. This is a bench player that comes on if our player doesn't play. So it gives us a bit more money for.
Is it 1L?
Yeah.
Welbeck. There you go, and it leaves us 0.8 for the next week. So let's get you back in the telly. So let's have a little look then. So we've got Martinez and Meslier. We've got Holding.
Well, John, sorry to stop you. Why don't you save that now? Go into the team and we'll pick the team and go through it now as we pick it, because we've got to pick it, haven't we? Save your transfers. Standard save transfers, wherever it is. I can't see it. But probably normally the top one, but you don't want to make it. Yeah.
There you go.
Done. Yeah.
Cost
all saved.
Points.
Yep.
And then pick team, yeah.
Yep. So I think with goalie wise, as Antonio, Aston Villa have 2 games, so we should probably go Martinez on that one because we're more likely to get more points here.
Let's change that. So Martinez back in goal.
Yep. Defence wise, obviously Kufau done well last week, 7 points, and White done well last week, 6 points. So do we question putting them both in this week? Brighton are playing. Brighton
playing Wolves. They win, didn't they? Which I'm not too sure they'll get again.
They're playing Wolves though, so that could be another clean sheet. To be fair, Wolves aren't exactly striking force, are they? Without him in there, they've got many strikers.
Dallas, I wouldn't want to take him out. Kufau, obviously they're doing well.
I'd take Dallas out.
Trent, Liverpool's got 2 games.
No, I'd take Dallas out with me. You're sure we don't have to though. We can stick it as is. If you think you're happy to stick
Dallas for White, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Who have trying to see who Leeds have got. Leeds have got Spurs as well. Spurs on a 4-0 tear. They could concede a few there.
Where's my subs that I've just made then?
So White's on the game. The subs at the bottom now are Meslo at the bottom. Then right at the bottom there, you've got the one in White, which is Dallas. Then you've got Holding next to him.
Yeah, where's the transfers we've just made?
They're not on there, and we haven't saved them.
The Fantasy League, you want to? Yeah, mate, it just cost us 4 points.
No, so we haven't pushed the save button. So go back to transfers again. Yeah, so we've got to do it again. So quickly take Bamford out. Take Bowen.
We kept Bamford in the end, didn't we?
No, we didn't. We didn't have enough money. We had to change him for Welbeck, remember?
Oh yeah, let's put Welbeck in. And then we took out who else?
Bowen and Maddison. For Mount and Jota.
Oh yeah, the mighty Jota. Mount. Jota. Is he a midfielder on here?
Yep.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
It's strange what they do. And save it, and then as you press save, it comes up with another 4 options. The button just there. Now, what's the first one say?
Confirm transfers. Play wild cards.
No. Nope.
Play free hit.
Nope.
Change transfers. Confirm transfers.
Confirm transfers. That one there. Right, now that should. Yeah, because it's not highlighted anymore. That's done this time. So go back to pick team and it will let us do it.
Nice. Right, pick team, back in the game. Let's get rid of Dallas. Switch him out for White.
And change the goalie.
And then change the goalie for the goalie you should have kept instead of keeping
Martinez, yep. And then up front, who's you put up front for us? No, put Watkins up front for Welbeck, because Watkins got 2 games, I think.
And he scored at the weekend. He's a good lad.
And quickly, who are you going to go for skipper? I'll let you pick. It's got to be a 2-gamer. Fernandez or Salah for me. Your choice. Or Watkins,
Salah,
maybe.
Salah all day long. Goals make points.
Okay, so save that again. Make sure we save that.
Save your team. Your team has been saved.
Okay, and have we got a vice captain just in case that we have an issue again and someone gets called off and we don't get captain points like we did this week?
Yeah, let's give it to Fernandez for that reason.
Okay, so there we go. So that is our team. Sorry we took a little bit longer doubling it up, but we thought we'd show you double the knowledge this week. So there you go, people.
That's it. All done for week 4. Evening to Class FM in the chat. How you getting on? Did you like my rant about your team and your low pathetic protest? I hope you did. If not, any Man United fans, catch it out at the beginning of this programme, because I want as many people to know as possible that you've made a mistake and you should also be fined the 3 points. But yeah, that's our points. So quick run through of our team. Martinez in goal, White, Kufal, and the bad boy that is Trent Alexander at the back. Fernandez, Jota, Salah, Mount and Lingard. So not the most realistic. This is why it's called fantasy midfield you're ever going to see. Could you imagine playing 3 at the back with that 5 midfield? Who's coming back out of all of that?
Good luck.
Maybe Mount, because he'll be told to, because he's less than. Do you know what I mean? He's not as good as the others.
Maybe.
Lingard ain't coming back for shit. And then up front we have man like Welbeck. Oh no, who is that? Is that Welbeck?
No.
Can't even see.
No, Iheanacho, hopefully.
Yeah, Iheanacho. But who's on the left?
Watkins.
Oh, Watkins, man like Watkins, and he is good to be fair. And I like Brentford where he come from, so I like people who get a chance from the Championship. So that's our team for week 34, guys. Obviously join us this time next week. Sorry we're a bit late this week. We will be back on Tuesday next week, so make sure you join us. And obviously if you are new round here, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to join myself and Rams in the allfanstv League, where we do actually currently sit, we've gone from 2nd to bottom in 1 week. If you'd like to join, please just go on Fantasy Football League, enter the pin 2V6FXV, and you can come in and join myself and Rams. And on that note, it's just down to us Rams to hopefully we've picked the better team this week and half of them end up playing. Man United don't go and ruin our points, and we start climbing off that bottom, my friend.
Fingers crossed, John. I mean, I won't mention that I'm 2nd in the league. So, I mean, Rams FC made a nice move up. So, I mean, one side down, one side up. But on the other side, what we want more importantly is you guys to come on, join our chat, join our show, join our mini group, and have some banter with us and see if we can grow this for next season. Because next season is what it's all about, where we're going to tear you boys up. This is like calm before the storm. We're just lulling you in, people. We'll be like bottom for the rest of the year, and then you think you'll smash us next year. And good luck. Hello, say hello to my little friend. So yeah, people, please join us on any one of our shows. We're here most nights. Please get involved, and and get involved in the watch along. So please, we want to hear your opinions, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Exactly. Until next week, you've been watching All Fans TV. You've all been great. Make sure you like and subscribe and smash a like on this video. I'm John, and I'm gone.